11 o'clock, and Vanessa Lane Jennings is in the studio. This program is called Legal Lane, and that's where Vanessa lives.
I do. Why are you telling people where I live?
You live on Legal Lane.
There's actually a road called Legal Lane.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. It's in Connecticut, I believe.
That's it? There's only one in the whole world?
Well, there might be another one, but there's only one that I know of.
Wonder who lives there.
Very, very, very,
Judges?
very, very rich people.
Really?
Very rich
Well, good for you.
No, I do not live on that.
Well, you do right now. I'm on there with you. We're all on Legal Lane.
Yeah, it's on a lake.
How you doing?
I'm doing well this morning. How are you?
You look refreshed. Did you do something or something?
It's called put makeup on. I put makeup on.
Is that what it is? You just
Ladies
look so
and gentlemen,
good.
you're missing it.
So
it's my one time a year.
This morning we were talking about you, not about you, but about what we want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Is that what makes sense, Robin?
Yes.
And so
I follow.
we kind of briefed you, to use a legal term.
You did brief me. And then you got a genuine reaction.
So well, good. And so I want to do it again now that we've rehearsed it.
Now we've rehearsed
for the listeners. All right, so there was a story last week or earlier this week, I can't remember, about a guy in Michigan. It's all snowy everywhere. He goes out to his car. And
It is in Michigan.
He's probably done it a million times. And he starts his car, goes back in the house, and 5 minutes later comes out ready to drive off, and he's got a ticket that says you're not allowed to do this and blah, blah, blah.
God, I want to know what city that is, but continue.
I can find it for you while you're answering the question. But anyway, so he did not know it was against the law.
Right, because
So-
he's probably from Florida like me. Just,
But so
you don't know this.
my first thing was he was basically complaining about the police. And
Correct.
my point was police don't make the laws, they just enforce them.
That is 100% true story.
Okay, so you
That's
don't
how-
have a problem with that, right?
Right. Well, so first of all, I empathize with this guy 1,000% because
And you're not alone. A lot of people on Facebook did too.
right, because wasn't from Michigan when I moved to Michigan to go to law school. I didn't know anything about it. And you go outside when it's negative 30 to start
Right,
your car
right.
to make the process easier to get the snow off and stuff. But it is 100% illegal to leave your car running. But they sell the devices. So on everyone's car up there has the automatic starter, but technically, it's against the law. So you get your ticket.
Okay. Well, I didn't understand. I thought it said you could start it if you didn't leave the key in it.
Yeah, that's what it said. If you didn't leave the key in it, if it's keyless,
back in
you
the
can
day,
turn it on and
so
leave it
they
run.
changed it from when I was there. When I was there, you couldn't even start it. Because I guess that was before the keyless remotes, because we had to start it with the key, because, early 2000 wasn't that fancy.
All right.
So, but even then,
Okay, here's the story. Let me read it to you from the...
but what does it matter if, here's the thing, what does it matter if you have the key in it versus not having the key in it?
I don't know.
If you can lock your car doors.
The
what
city
does
of
it matter?
Roseville. Do you know Roseville?
I have no idea where that is.
It says a Roseville man is fuming after he
Oh.
left his car running in the driveway and got a ticket. The guy's name is Taylor. Don't think it was full name. Oh, Nick Taylor. Nick Taylor, 24,
Nick Taylor.
24 years old, left his car idling unlocked at his girlfriend's house on a frigid morning last week. Oh, he was at his girlfriend's house.
Wait.
When he returned a few minutes later, he saw a $128 ticket for leaving a vehicle unattended. He posted the ticket on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. The post has been shared nearly 14,000 times. It goes on, and the police chief basically says, look, this is for your safety. And I'm thinking, why do the police have to justify what they do? Because they're just enforcing the law.
Right, they don't have to justify it all. But, I mean, it does seem my defense attorney wants to say, well, they're making a difference between people who have money and people who don't. Because the people who have money could have the remoteless key entry. So, those poor people, they're the ones getting the shaft. They have to be in a cool car.
So listen to you. This is what you would do in the courtroom.
Well, no, that's just my random. In the court, well, yeah, probably. Because there's no way to really get him out of it, even though he didn't know it was the law, which is going to stem back to what your question was originally. Is ignorance of the law ever an excuse?
Right, and that is ultimately what I wanted to know. Can you, in the court of law, be excused from a one-time thing? If you say to the judge, I didn't know that was against the law, will he say, oh, okay, well, then you're out?
The legal answer is no. Not really, but the real answer is sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on who your judge is. I mean, looks like a small, I Googled it. It looks like it's a small town outside of Grand Rapids. So it's a small town. They probably all know each other. Because my friend was a prosecutor in Muskegon, not far from there. So they all, even though Muskegon's a little bit bigger of a town, they all know each other because it's not like Ocala where there's 300 lawyers, but they have like 5.
Well, do you think that the officer tried the driver's door and found it was unlocked? What if he found that if it was locked, would he have still issued the ticket, do you think?
I don't even know if he would have tried. It would probably be one where you just looked in the window to see if there was a key in the ignition or not.
Vanessa, you have a phone call. Let's take that call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on there with Vanessa.
Good morning, gang. I had a keyless remote start, but the thing about it was that if I didn't put the key in the ignition before I touched the pedals or tried to shift it, the engine would stop, would shut down. So I don't know if that would make that legal. I'm assuming it's a law because someone could jump in your car and drive off with it.
Yeah,
but they can't do that without the key.
Fair enough.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So you could fight it in Michigan. Is it against the law here, Vanessa?
I have no idea. I don't know if that would even be a law.
All right. Thank you for letting us know that.
Because it's not cold enough for me to know.
Wow.
I knew that because it was cold enough for me to know that to be a law. You hide the car behind the house.
I know. But see, some people say warming up your car is necessary, and other people disagree that it's a mechanical argument. But I wanted to focus on the legal part of this. Okay, now I see people doing this. I see it here at the mall. I'll see they left their car running with the air conditioner on, so the dog isn't dying out there. And then they'll go into the mall, and the car is locked, but the engine is running. Are they allowed to do that?
I believe they're supposed to do that. That's how my understanding of it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can't leave an animal in the car unattended without something going on. Because otherwise they're allowed to break into your windows. Remember that from this past summer? Where passerbyers, if they see your poor stranded dog left in the car.
I had the air conditioner on.
Right. We stole the car and the dog. Sir, the law said I could.
But then you've got the dog that could be jumping around and everything and accidentally hit the gear shift or something like that, and then the car takes off. So you would think that would be against the law to leave a running vehicle unattended anywhere.
Right, which is why I don't allow my dog and or cat or child.
What kind of dog do you have?
I don't have a dog.
Oh, okay.
But I do have a cat. And I have a fake child, so I mean, all that works.
What was the other question I had for Vanessa?
About an ordinance.
Oh, ordinances. Now, this is a semantics question. We decided that's the word.
Okay. This one we didn't brief. We never got that far.
Oh, I know. All right. So let's say there's a sign. You put up a sign for yard sale on the telephone pole.
Okay.
And the community code guy comes by and takes it down because it violates an ordinance that does not allow community codes. I'm sorry.
Signs, I'm following along.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know where my brain just went. But anyway, so you're not allowed to put signs.
It went to mean code enforcement. Code enforcement, I love you.
Okay.
You're the best.
Oh no, well, yeah, I'm not complaining, but I'm saying, do they then have? Are you then committing a crime by violating a code thing, a city code?
You are violating
Is it illegal?
Ordinance.
But can you go to can you get a ticket or go to?
Yes.
Really?
You get a fine.
And you have to go to court to pay it?
No, it depends where the fine's for. I don't believe you have to go to court.
Because I think there's a leash law in Marion County, and you have to have your animals on a leash. So that would be an ordinance. So if your animal's not on the leash, they could give you a ticket, right?
Yeah, they give you a fine. You get a fine. So it depends on where it is and how it's being done, and whether it's the county, the city, or if it's even your HOA can give you a fine for that.
Oh, the homeowners association?
Well, not the leash law, but they could. But they have their own regulations, so they can give you fines. I mean, that becomes civil, and if you don't pay it, then they have to sue you. But technically, you can get fines for breaking all those things.
So let's say you have a really well-trained dog, and you hold your hand as if you have a leash.
It's an invisible leash.
Yeah, it's an invisible leash. And then your wife has one of those
I'm now
invisible
married
dogs.
and have a wife. Okay. I hope she's pretty.
So she.
That's and rich. Those are my only hopes for my future wife. And could cook. Okay, there's a lot of wishes.
So you have one of those. She has, or whoever has one of those.
I'm okay with a wife. It's fine.
One of those leashes that have no dogs on them.
Right.
Right, the ones that used to sell at Disney World when I was like 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
And they don't sell them anymore by the Haunted Mansion.
Really?
Yeah, I was very upset. I went to go buy my sister one because it harkened back to childhood, and they didn't have them. I was very sad, but I've totally derailed this entire.
Yeah, you did.
So okay,
All right.
So my wife has a dog that's trained. But no leash. Presumably, I'm not the dog. So continue on with the story.
Well, I mean, if the dog is trained and you can like show, I guess, a certificate that says, "Look, I know I don't have a leash, but my dog is trained to not need a leash." Does that certificate look past the law, past the doggy school?
If the ordinance, regulation, statute,
you have
whatever
to
we're
have a
going with,
leash?
has an exception that says your dog must have a leash, except if he has passed or it has passed XYZ and has XYZ credentials. That would be the only time that would probably, unless of course you get a nice judge or you get a nice person.
But the big takeaway I got from both of those stories was that they're blaming the police, and I figure like, well, hello, they don't make the laws; they just justify. I mean, they just enforce them.
I mean, you blame the police for their attitude. You blame the police for using excessive force. You blame the police for
right.
things they actually do wrong. But enforcing the law is what the law is. If you don't like it, then you yell at your legislators.
There was another thing. I got to ask you this. There was a video online, and it was this guy crossing the border from Canada to the United States, and he was an American. And they ask, "Are you an American?" He says, "Am I free to go?" And they go, "Well,
then they should have said, yep, you're American. Come on in." That is an American question.
are you?" And the guy just refused to answer. He said, "Look, in America, we're free, aren't we? So you need to either detain me or not detain me. Am I detained?" He kept asking, "Am I detained?"
He must be a law student. That is such a law student response.
Oh, really?
Not a lawyer, not an attorney. Using semantics and saying there's a difference between the
He
two.
was being so
That's a law student.
Really?
Yeah.
You might be right. I wonder if you're right.
I would put $5 on him being a law student, or at least a dropout from law school, or took a lot of law school classes.
No, that seems very rude, though, and very disrespectful of the person. I mean, what's wrong with answering that question?
So this goes back to a very, very specific. Technically, you don't. If a police officer says, "Hey, ma'am, can we ask you some questions?" You don't even have to say anything. You just keep on walking. You don't have to answer their questions.
Really?
Because it's called an information stop. They're allowed to stop you or to ask you some information. Hey, what's your name? And they're doing their job. They're getting research. But you don't, as a citizen, you literally don't have to stop. They have to have probable cause to actually stop you. And once they detain you, and that's why he was asking that question, which is why I said he went to law school or someone in his family went to law school. So they're saying you are activating my fifth. You're asking me a question. I am detained, so therefore I have a Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Because the only time you actually have the Fifth, because people like to say, I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right.
Right.
The only time it actually applies is if you're in a custodial interrogation. And what that translates to into plain English is a government body, like a police officer, is asking you a question and you are not free to leave. All other points in time, if they're asking you a question but you're free to leave, you can just leave. So he was inquiring, am I free to leave?
Right.
If I'm free to leave, peace out, I'm bouncing.
Well, then why does he wait for them to tell him he is free to leave? Why doesn't he just drive off?
Well, because then you might have a fleeing and eluding charge that comes on later.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
he was
wow.
he was just being a little smart on that one and saying, hey, and he's asking the question, am I free to go? And you should always ask that question, just so you don't have a fleeing and eluding charge, just in case there was probable cause for you to know about it.
When I crossed that border, which I've only done a few times, but I remember once, and this was back when I smoked cigars, the border guy said to me, and this was going into Canada, he said, do you have any tobacco in the car? And I said, well, I have some used cigars. And first he laughed, and then he got a straight face, and he said, what is a used cigar? And I said, this little piece that's left. The little piece that's left, you don't smoke the whole thing.
Right.
So, anyway, you're not allowed to bring cigars, I guess, across the border.
Tobacco, right.
Isn't that weird?
So when you were talking,
Can't take fruit in certain countries, and bring fruit back from certain countries. It's all kinds of
Orchids.
things.
You get
Orchids, yeah,
a huge
plants.
fine for orchids, right?
Sure.
Within the United
You say
States.
right like I know that one. I'm going to go with sure. That's not my practice area of law.
All right. Let me go to the break, and we'll be right back. Vanessa is here. If you have any questions about your legal circumstances, we invite you to call. The number is 622-9622. I know we've been a little on the silly side today, but we will straighten up if you call in and have something serious. We'll let Vanessa answer your question. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On Friday, sunshine and some clouds with just a chance of a shower. A warm day, high 76 to 80. Partly cloudy and mild Friday night, low 56 to 60. Another warm day Saturday with sunshine and some clouds, high 74 to 78. On Sunday, partly sunny. There may be a shower along the coast, high 73 to 77. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
There are only a few things in life that you can be certain will always be around: death, taxes, the pursuit of happiness, and computers. As they continue to advance at an epic pace, the one absolute certainty about them is that they'll break. It's not an if, it's a when. And when it happens, bring it to the only company in Ocala that's certified in Apple and Microsoft, Ocala Mac and PC Repair. They even offer on-site computer repair service, so they come to you. And if you do drop it off, you can check your repair status online. Ocala Mac and PC Repair is a family-owned and operated company that can do everything from mobile repair to wireless networks, fixing viruses, data recovery, even building and installing new systems. Visit online at ocalamacpc.com. In person, 1713 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or give them a call, 352-566-8324. That's 352-566-8324. Ocala Mac and PC Repair.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Many parents-to-be apparently want their kids to have the most powerful names around. Popular right now are mythological names from gods and goddesses: Jupiter, Luna, Pandora, and Zeus. Falling in love does more than just give us butterflies. It gives us stress, insomnia, and it makes us feel drunk. As long as the food you're eating is healthy, it is perfectly fine to eat the same things over and over.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, 7 minutes before 11 o'clock. I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk with my headphones on. I can't even tell if you can hear me, so I was trying to tell Vanessa, okay, here's the Border Patrol thing. I found it. You see.
Why do you want to check it?
I was just wondering if you would mind.
No, but what's the reason to want to check my trunk?
Just, your car is dirty?
Of what country are you a citizen?
Okay.
What's the purpose of the stop?
Immigration checkpoint.
Okay, what's the scope of the stop?
Immigration checkpoint. Of what country are you a citizen?
Who do you work for?
U.S. Border Patrol.
Am I being detained?
No, I'm asking you a simple question.
Am I free to go?
I'm asking you a question. You need to answer my question.
Am I being detained?
You need to answer my question, sir.
Am I being detained?
See how this guy is?
You need to answer my question.
Am I being detained?
He keeps on, and eventually she says, "No, you're free to go." Oh my gosh, that seems so weird that people do that.
Please come into our country. You're annoying me.
But yeah, it's probably basically she said, "Just come on in."
Just come on. Do what you got to do.
So then, how is it possible that we can even protect our borders if people just can do that? One of the questions the guy before this lady was asking, "I need to check your trunk?" He
I
says,
heard that. That's what I laughed for.
"Yeah." So I had my trunk checked a lot of times. In New Jersey, they would
That's
pull
because you carry shady stuff, like accordions.
It was an accordion, but I mean,
One of my favorite stories. Yes.
Yeah, I remember telling you, but still, I mean, I didn't say no. I'm not opening that.
That's because you had nothing to hide, and you weren't
I'm not a law
lawyer.
student. Yeah.
Or not even say a lawyer, a law student.
Okay, so that's what law students who play accordions do. They say no.
Yes. Oh my goodness, they would be horrible. They'd be like, no, you can't look in there.
So have you done
I got
this?
joke about it. No, I have not.
No, you just cooperate with them, right?
I find it a lot easier to cooperate. I tell them I tell them things that I tell my clients not to tell them, like the truth. Like the one time I got stopped in the last 2-3 years was for driving too slowly, and I told the officer the truth. He thought I was trying to burglarize a neighborhood or scoping it out. I was just playing Pokemon Go with my sister, and we had to hatch an egg. So, and if you go really slow, it calculates. And we were in a neighborhood. It wasn't like we were on a main street or anything else. But apparently, the neighborhood had been burglarized. So they were scoping, looking for people. They were on the lookout or stakeout, looking for people scoping the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked suspicious going around the same block, going 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, right. That'll do it.
So
I laughed and
I don't know
told
if I ever shared this with you, but when I was a kid, like a teenager, probably a young teenager, 14, 15, whatever, I guess that's young, a police officer slowed down and rolled down his window. He said, "Where are your friends?" And I said, "I don't know. Why?" And he said, "You were just with them, weren't you?" And I said, "No, I just came from the church because that's where I was walking from, was the church. I used to clean the church to make money." I had a part-time job. But anyway, and that was the end of it. There was nothing else to tell you. But I was thinking, he thought I must have been part of some gang of kids that did something, and he thinks I'm part of them, you know?
He was looking out. He was just asking you some questions
Yeah?
that you didn't have to answer, that you just could have walked away.
But once you start walking away, couldn't the policeman have, come up with something like that you were ignoring him and he had good reason to ask you the question?
Yeah, but that doesn't, if you have a good judge, it doesn't rise to the level of probable cause because you walked away. Now, if you saw the police ran away and said, "I didn't do it, I did nothing," and you're just running, "You can't catch me, MFer," he might find a reason. You smelled like
my
drugs.
gosh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I smelled pot on you.
Oh my
I
gosh.
need to do a Terry pat-down stop.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Smelling pot on you is enough to get you in the car, huh?
Oh, that's enough. Yes. No, that's your reasonable suspicion to stop you and to do a pat-down search. That, yes, you'll get, smelling a pot will get you every single time. Now, that's now. Whether or not they ask you if you have a medical card, and once they get it,
That'll be changed.
Right, that'll all change. But back in the day, as of like last year, a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Pokemon wasn't that long ago.
But, oh no, that was this summer. That was our 2-month stint of
the fad.
The fad, yes.
You would have been our news story then.
I would have.
That would have
I
been
did.
great.
I sat here and I would have been a news story, but I sat here and played. Remember that one time?
That's right, you did.
Yeah, it was
that
a whole
was fun.
It was a whole month of Pokemon. I never.
So when the new laws come out,
Mm-hmm.
do you get an email notification or do you get an app or how do you
No, they don't love us.
learn all of this about the new laws?
There's continuing education classes that you can take.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go and sign up, and I believe it's like $99. And you go and it'll give you all the changes in the law, and because sometimes they're not the changes in the law aren't just the new laws that come out, but there's new cases that come out that change the existing law or tweak it in such a way that it could affect your universe.
Oh, okay.
But most people only do it for whatever they practice. So I would go to like a family law one where it tells me all the family law stuff, and a criminal one, which we went to.
Yeah, because you have
last
all
year.
that expertise that you do for your clients. So you have to do every phase of the law.
Well, it's mostly criminal and family are the ones that I do, and small business stuff. But that doesn't change as much as the criminal and the family.
Oh, okay. Wow.
If you need some legal advice, call the Jennings Law Firm and speak to Vanessa. What's your number, Vanessa?
It is 352-804-0092.
Always fun.
It is, always.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Robin.
Thank
be right
you,
back.
Vanessa.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. A major